delivered by me on behalf of the UniPD team. We are about 6 people working here very hard, and the educator leaders that are marvelous people that did wonderful things. We are going to talk today in this session. So let's make a start and go ahead. So this is provocative. Generative AI arrived in November 2022. We all know that story. Here are a couple of interactions by me with famous or infamous chatbots. I was, of course, I was curious as everyone about what it could do, because this is funny, because in Italian or in Spanish or in other Latin languages I speak, I will give you the gender, and for me it is him, and I also consider it a bit dummy, so please don't bear with me. But so the idea was that we were all curious, and there was actually a hype about lots of things we could do with these instruments. And just to keep on joking a little bit on that, you can see that there are very fast things on this earth. And cheetah airplane and the speed of light is really fast, but people becoming experts in AI is faster than everything else. And of course, I didn't want to miss anything. And I contributed to a paper that was published, I think, in February 2023, and there were lots of webinars and people designing with the ChatGPT, and then there was a lot of debate about the fact that the AI is not just that, because there was people like me. I have been working for 10 years on the field of learning analytics, and I also said to myself, okay, it is really impressive, but let's say that we have been working on AI projects for many decades. And also there were concerns about the impact of this type of tool. And I guess you know the story, how the story went on until now. There were lots of documents by the OECD, UNESCO, the European Commission, preventing about the problems, the issues, using this type of tools unethically. And there was a lot of concern about, I mean, there were much literature and gray literature, like policy briefs and so on, or reports, recommending how to introduce in education. There was a concern of catch up very fast and introduce this type of tools within teaching and learning in education at all levels. But there was also, as I was saying, concern about ethical issues connected to the use of these tools. So one question we can think about at this point, we can ask to ourselves at this point, is should we think more carefully about the AI in education we will embrace in the future? And the literature, and particularly the research I have been conducting, but other much brighter scholars have said that we need to think critically. We need to think about data ecosystem behind this type of tools, the research groups behind, the power that is at the center of taking data, analyzing data, and giving back recommendations or all the type of products, transparency of these type of systems, openness of the data adopted, and the algorithmic procedure. There is an expression, unblock the box, that is very much eloquent about these type of principles. And here it comes what I have been doing. I published in 2023, after 3 years, but the research goes slow, a book on the idea of building fair data cultures in higher education. And nowadays, I would say building fair AI cultures in higher education, which can be a good hypothesis for future research or development by much brighter people than me in the future, I hope. But this is my 2 cents. And the idea is that in the educational field, it's not just a thing of having access to tools or using tools because they are popular, but we need to engage with the tools, promote lived experiences, reflection, debates, also with the stakeholders and students, because it's their life in the future as a post-human life, particularly young people, and to generate networks, discussion groups, observatories, to understand to build a situated approach about data, a culture, data and AI, a culture of using AI, which AI, in which circumstances, and of course, to share those experiences as part of fostering an open education science practice. This is what, for example, we are doing at the University of Padua, or Padua. We are working in a project. We created a space that lasts 6 months. We started in November. And we explore AI from the perspective of the teacher, the perspective of the students, the ideas we have about designing, generating content, collaboration, AI-powered collaboration or assessment. And then we move back to we have an online forum space, and then we meet we have organized 3 meetings along the process in November, the last one in February, and now we will meet again in May to tell about our experiences and what it takes to use these AI tools, what they really do with our lives, and what the purposes they are useful for. So this is a human centered approach to use these technologies, and it is in agreement with the ethical guidelines of the use of AI and data in education, where the European Commission is through an high-level expert group, the groups that are created by the European Commission to generate recommendations for policy making, is calling to understand AI system before usage, and then to carefully consider the impacts and to think about the fact that technologies are not good per se. So we are following the advancement on this discussion. And here is where ENCORE comes. You are free to make any comment in the chat if you want, or you want to ask questions. Maybe Laura, you want to collect questions, or Bo, and then we discuss a little bit on the things I am sharing with you. So ENCORE. What about ENCORE? This is a complex sketch, but you can see in dotted line that there is something happening in there, and this is the technical side of ENCORE. This is the engine that makes ENCORE work, and it's not a simple engine. It is an engine based on the work of one university adopting natural language processing to collect data and generate a sort of output. Another university generating an engine to make OER interoperable across different platforms. And another, a technological development connected to the interface, what we see as end users. And this is altogether OER. And but this is the technological side. And since I colored for understand the technology, interact with it, and generate experiences that make this technology valuable or not, here outside the dotted line with the spaces for the human driven part in this project. So we can say this is data driven part or technological development, and here is human experience. And I'm grateful to the project coordinator, Filippo Chiarello, who's not here, because he proposed this challenge. He said to me, we cannot develop if we do not share with you that come from a pedagogical background what we are doing, and we do not go together aligning our thoughts and results and activities with the user. So it is different to perform a user test, to engage the people, to say things, okay, this system is working appropriately, it's easy to use, I'm okay. And it's a completely different thing to think about the system, to criticize it, to say what happens when the system comes to our lives as teachers and learning. And this is another more important thing. And it's that ChatGPT appeared and was delivered as something that you could use in whatever the approaches and the manners. Instead, ENCORE, that is based on open resources, they work, the researchers, for example, part of the data adopted comes from Wikipedia, and so on and so forth, has an approach that is transparent, that is, engages human in the loop. It also promotes educational value. So it tries to make sense and to contribute to a debate that is ongoing in the EU. In the EU, the idea is that we need to develop certain competencies or skills to catch up with what is happening at the global level and to become a good society and a place where it makes sense living. So what the idea is that digital, entrepreneurial, and green competencies are very relevant in this policy context, in this societal context. And these are not so recent tools. I am showing in the picture the frameworks to promote competence, because what we have here until here is lots of debate, lots of expert groups, lots of testing, and a huge amount of money through European partnerships and projects to support the adoption, the development and adoption of these three frameworks to promote digital competence, to promote an entrepreneurial competence connected to leaders and to more active adults and more creative people to adopt the technology for good. And last but not least, to support the green transition. So these are key competencies, apart from they were like sort of spin-off from the key competencies for lifelong learning that appeared in 2008 and were renewed in 2018. And ENCORE also promotes another strategy, and a strategy to deal with the three areas of competence. And it has to do with using open educational resources. Please ask if you don't know what I'm talking about, but since they appeared in 2002, they were launched by UNESCO. I guess you are quite aware of what it means talking of open educational resources. They are so popular that I guess in 2016 and then onwards, there were more development. The European Commission, there in the scheme, you are seeing the European Commission framework, European Commission law framework, I guess. There was this recommendation to consider open educational resources as a set of complex dimensions connected to strategies at institutional level to promote open education. So they were not just the resources, the digital resources. They were a set of things like the content, the approach to the pedagogy, the possibility of having access, the open research behind, the fact of using those resources for collaboration, and the promotion of recognition, open recognition of the skills gained through the use of these open educational tools. Spoiler alert, or not spoiler, it's already published, but advertisement, let's say, we did an analysis of open educational resources development progress through the lens of ENCORE, and it is published already in our website. There are results of our project activities and also the long story and what has happened in the present days and currently with open educational resources. And we dig deeper and we see the ENCORE is placed in an educational context. But it is, of course, a tool. It is a tool, data-driven, AI-powered, as I explained it before. And you might focus on the usage of OER that it will endow you to use, to discover, but you might want to focus on green entrepreneurial or digital skills in your teaching or in within learning. So ENCORE offers an interface where you can find and sort and categorize the resources according to their coverage of digital, green, and entrepreneurial competencies. And it's interoperable in space on open educational resources. So this is the tool. Arrived to this point, we must say, and where is the human part? Because it is again a tool, I can use it, and I can do things. But where is the human part? This is where the University of Padova and other partners' story begins. Because the first thing we said, according to our experience in using technologies, is that OER have undergone a long way. DGE, we have the frameworks, but there are still problems to introduce and to support this type of competencies development. So there is a problem of usage of this wealth, of this abundance of knowledge. And since we have this problem, we decided that using learning scenarios that embed professional expertise by other educators could be a way to approaching more actively ENCORE. So you might be asking to yourself, what is a pedagogical or learning scenario? You will find the two terms in the literature. We proposed, and here are the other partners in this work that are more pedagogical or training partners that are concerned with how are we going to introduce this technology within our educational life? How are we going to promote OER or DGE development? We said, okay, what we need to do is to co-design pedagogical scenarios to promote the ENCORE usage, the tool and approach usage. Let's make just a brief synthesis of why learning scenarios. Learning scenarios because Professional learning occurs while interacting with others. And it is relevant to see others doing things. When you see an expert person, you learn through a non-formal way or an informal way, lots about the gestures, discourses, the activities, the ideas. And this is because expert practice is so important for all of us. It's situated knowledge. So when learning a scenario is a complete narrative that shows an educational or training situation. It shows something like an educational activity that is happening. And of course, we want learning scenarios that introduce the technology and introduce particularly ENCORE. So ENCORE is new. We don't have learning scenarios. There are lots of people talking about the use of PowerPoint or the use of ChatGPT maybe recently, but we don't have so much. Nowadays, we have learning scenarios, you will see. But at the point we started with this approach, we didn't have so many learning scenarios. So another thing is important about learning scenarios is they support design thinking. They trigger creativity, hopefully. Here you have a learning scenario. There is a description, a situation, the resources used by the teacher, and the activities that are proposed to the students. And we ask in our exercises also to tell about the critical problems, the critical aspects found out when searching for open educational resources to generate learning scenarios where open educational resources in the GE were an important part, because we want professional expertise to support this type of development. And yes, you can see the elements. So the educators that come from a certain area of lifelong learning, they are exploring a concept, they will use theories or notes, and they will search for tools and resources, they will design collaborative or alone, and they will reflect on the problems of finding that resources. And here is the loop we enter into. So we propose workshops with very expert professional educators and educational technologists. And then we went on educathons, or educathons as our Greek colleagues say. I think it must be appropriate at this point. Spaces for co-design, to interacting with ENCORE, in generating learning scenarios. So here is an example of what it is done. So we introduced the educational problem of open educational resources and the DGE competencies. And then we propose browsing ENCORE and thinking about which areas do the teacher or the participant consider appropriate or relevant for their professional practice. Then the person can use the interface, the possibilities given by this interface, like for example, the possibility of creating collection, of seeing synthesis of the resources and accessing to them. And then the participant can create a learning design, a learning path design that uses the Bloom taxonomy to address an appropriate learning design that goes is learning centered, not knowledge centered. So here is then we ask the teachers to write down their reflections and experiences, because it is not only about interacting with the platform and saying it was useful, it was okay, it was not. It is about generating learning scenarios, sharing learning scenarios, and share professional knowledge about using ENCORE. What happens with this technology? Again, human driven approach to the technology. So here you can see a template we created at UniPD to generate a learning scenario with explaining the context, the target, the area, the mode of delivery, activities, how were we going to integrate the DPGE and the OER, and then the reflection. This is the OER I found out and selected from the ENCORE. So print screens from the experience are also welcome. And through this approach, we invited others to collaborate, as I said, in 2 loops, workshop and educathlons, to engage in these generating learning scenarios and imagining practice with ENCORE. Here are our preliminary results, the summary of sessions we conducted until now. And you can see we work in the first loop with experts. These are the same people, mostly the same. There are no differences. The topic was DGE, and it was done during international meetings in 3 hours time. So we had the time to interact and do also conduct dynamics, like, for example, peer reviewing and discussion and integration to, elements that could work better in the platform too. There was a feedback to the technological partners. Then we opened the second part, which was based on 7 preliminary meetings for coaching with the UNITV. So you can see how much work does it take to arrive to use AI in education. It is not, okay, you have the tool, you will use it. There is a lot of human work, in fact. And here you will see that we work with several meetings that were based on junior educators, prospective educators, people that is at the very beginning of their professional identity as educators. And we conducted also educathlons with faculty, teaching assistants, and BET trainers. We are arriving at 115 people taking part, and we believe we are going to increase that figures because at Padua we are programming other meetings. And as you can see, they were focused more on the usage of OER overall, or more on developing DGE or a specific area of DGE, like AI in education. I'm going to arriving to the end of this webinar. I hope that there will be space for questions. But here you can see, here are just some spots of the results. We are working more carefully on these results. Laura is for sure analyzing data much more carefully, but you can see in the first look something relevant happened. We observed in 2 sessions in the first look that despite we asked to move from digital competence to more green competencies, it was very difficult to generate learning scenarios to promote green competence. It was the easiest material, accessible material, or the focus is still about digital competence. We can comment on further on that, but one important thing is that the digital competence and the digital agenda has had much more attention in the last decade. Digital transformation, there are lots of debate about the digital, and the green transformation is much more recent. Entrepreneurship is somewhere in the middle. But you observe how the participants were more prone to develop learning scenarios focused on developing digital competence. And then relating the level of Bloom taxonomy, we see also something very relevant, that most learning scenarios were focused on remembering and understanding. And this is what happens in, very much in faculty, in higher education level. It is not easy to promote competencies that have to do with applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. And our learning scenarios, they don't succeed in that terms. They perceive that the support provided by the ENCORE system were let's say, for middle, there were high cases, but low, because at that time, we were facing the problem that was fixed, connected to the search engine, the OER search engine. So these workshops were useful to improve the features as a human in the loop approach. And here there is a more, created a set of results that have to do with the second loop. During the second loop, we engaged students, and with that number, we did some quantitative analysis, and we observed that the students declared that the exposure to ENCORE, using ENCORE, is actually useful to improve the OER knowledge and the approach to using OER, and also their understanding about the relevance and contribution, their own contribution to open knowledge. We also did an acceptance analysis, and we observed that performance expectation was at the highest, got the highest score, mean score, and there was a high behavioral intention of adopting the ENCORE platform, whereas social influences were low, of course, because ENCORE has never appeared in, in social media or in the classroom. It's not common. And there was concern about the facilitating conditions and the effort that might take to use ENCORE. But to some extent, the platform could be useful to embrace open educational resources, and this could pave the way for the universities to promote strategies using this tool and other tools, but this tool might have this particular ethic when using with the students. Also, here are more qualitative stance on the activities. We see that the Hellenic Open University and Rodinger University in Greece and Germany, they did wonderful work. And the students were, convinced, were excited about using the platform. They appreciated the interaction and the exploration of different types of resources. And they developed scenarios because they were prospective educators or education students. And they also expressed that wish for the OERs and platforms like ENCORE to become a model to think about open education. As for the faculty staff, the story is a bit different, and this is my last slide. Don't be desperate. Because experience makes the opinion to change a little bit. For example, in the case of our university, Padua, we observed, we were in a group of 8 people, that there are many other AI-powered systems nowadays, and it's not easy to choose the right one. That ENCORE has improvements to do, and the ease of use is a relevant factor. And engaging the end users and to a participatory design is crucial, and it's crucial for the future life of this technology. Another teacher said that as an experienced teacher, I'm less convinced by the tool's possibility than the junior college. So there was we observed the differences between junior and more experienced colleagues. But I appreciate the possibility to create collections of good quality OERs. So there were convincing features, but there were also the need of dig deeper on the possibilities provided by the platform. At Rodinger, the comment was that there was concern about the proper interaction with the system, the limitations encountered within the system, and the need of working, again, of preparing carefully the sessions for interacting in a significant way with this type of technology. But they enjoy the session. The system sparking debate and creativity. In the case of the University of Pisa, they liked the fact of having an overview of educational resources and the interface that supports creation and manipulation, and the possibility of creating a learning path. So the comments were rather good. Where to from here? Well, the idea is, as you have seen in our mixed results, mixed methods, results, that we need to keep on exploring the levels of interaction with ENCORE and dig deeper on the differences between juniors and seniors, faculty and BET, which are the needs of these type of users when they approach the ENCORE. And we need to keep on contributing to the improvement of the ENCORE interface through a participatory design, collaboration between humans and developers of technology. Humans, it was a lapsus linguistic between pedagogists and technologists. I said technologists and humans, but bear with me. Okay, so this is very much a work in progress. Well, this is it for now. I hope that there are questions or ideas about this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juliana. It was a really inspiring presentation, very clear. Your sound was perfect all along, so I think people could follow. I hope there are questions. Please, you are free to use the chat or turn on your mic is really enable the possibility. I just wanted to clarify something I didn't say precisely at the beginning. It is not true that we won't share the recording. We will not put it on social media, but will be saved on our repository on the website. I have shared with you this information. Please contact us if you are not okay with it. And I see, Juliana, you are using the slide to go back somewhere? Or did they start this?
Somebody asked the access
time
to,
we can then continue this matter, so to allow Lucy to work next week. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Okay.
there is somebody with a open meet.
Your agreements, yes, colleague.
So there it is. I'm
Okay.
not going to do a demonstration session today. Hopefully our colleagues from Blue Kessler Foundation will do it. So I just share the link. The tool, I just want to be honest with all of the participants. The tool has still a lot of problems. We are on the making, but the relevant thing is the way we engage as humans with the technology. Okay, there are technologies that are much more usable, very, very, engaging, like ChatGPT or Facebook. But there are other possibilities by the designers, and there are other technological models, data ecosystem approaches to power in this and to digital sovereignty. These type of tools are developed by researchers, universities in the European context, and this is the way technology probably might be approached through a community lens, through a small and slow approach to developing and using technology. So this is the idea I'd like to pattern for the audience today.
Any question from other?
Matt Brenner is when the slide of four. I don't think they are very, I mean, informative but I mean, no worries. I share Alessandra, and I don't know where
You
we
can
put
send
them,
it to me
but-
and I will put it on slide share also that will be unlisted, but they go in the repository I've shared and find everything. So the recording of this event and the slide, but they have to go there on purpose, you know, is not publicly available. So only the people that knows will get the
okay, that's not that much better because it's like it's just work in progress. I want to share because I want to open to dialogue and debate, particularly about AI. And this is a very concrete case of how AI can be developed and used by people and integrated to education in the lives of educators or teachers and that. Okay. Okay, I think the participants are quite shy, so maybe it's time to.
maybe Juliana, could you stop the sharing? Maybe we
Yes, sure.
see them in the face if they turn on the camera. Still sharing, huh?
Mm.
There you go. So I see some people has interacted with us. We still have around 50 minutes to cover if we are willing to. We're not obliged. So this is an opportunity for people that would like to ask a question or just share their thoughts. Some people said in the chat that this presentation gave them food for thoughts. So maybe you want to share that. You're not obliged, of course. Otherwise,
Alessandra, a very concrete question I would have to the audience is, are you using AI tools at your universities or educational context? Are you using any AI tool? And which are your experiences about?
I'm writing down also. I give it another sort of minutes and then let's see what people respond. We all use it, so it's not that is banned. So it's possible to use AI generated tools, and within the ENCORE project, we try to make people aware of these tools via a podcast. I'm gonna share that too. Juliana also had the chance to interview a person, was a really interesting. We have released a new one. I actually shared the Spotify link because the website, I still have to update it. Give me a second.
Yes, since that interview, I mean, the first episode is about us presenting the project, Alessandra. I remember about that. But the second episode, I invited Pablo Rivera Vargas and Jacobkis from the Universitat de Barcelona. And they are not technological people. They are experts on platform studies in education. They recently completed a research, 2 years of research with families in the whole region of Catalonia about the way they perceive platform and algorithmic powered tools within educational settings. Family side, and teachers and student side. They approach the problem through a socio-technical and critical digital literacy lenses. So it's interesting, and it is interesting again that this project makes space for all that. Again, Filippo is not here, so he is losing the opportunity to hear my compliments and I mean my. But I'm grateful with I mean technological person that made a space for all this debate between humanists and technologies.
I have shared the links with
Okay, there is Matt Brenner is sharing
Yes.
AI learning tools on. Let me now try. Okay. Okay, because yeah, I think
I honestly didn't use any of them. I
yes,
just
it says I'm curious because I'm using Orbis, for example, in this group I told you. We are working at the University of Padua. We have tools that are provided by the university, and like Book or Perusa, we, I mean, are reflecting about the usage of these tools. And of course, we also use plagiarism tools, grammar support tools, translation, transcription tools. All of these tools are like all around us from, I don't know, but the last 5 years, there has been like an increasing presence of this type of tools in our teaching activities.
I mean, if people are interested, we as EIDTU have, I mean, Filippo is also involved as an associate partner, so Unipisa. We have just started in January a project, it's called Admit. Unfortunately, I cannot share the link because it's really recent that we started, so we don't have yet the website. But if you follow us with the hashtag I sent to you, we share information about it as well. And one of the first output will be indeed a sort of literature review, web scribing of the tools that are available for educators as well as learner to deal with learning. So I think it is a very important topic, and will be for sure something that will stay. We also have discussed how institution reacts to that, and there have been institutions that were very open, let the student use it and play with it, others that were very restrictive because they were really scared that it would be a tool for cheating. So it is indeed a hot topic, and I hope people want to comment about it. Thank you for inspiring presentation discussion. See you next time. Sana is leaving. But indeed is 4:52. If you have, Mart is sharing other, thank you.
Great, Mark. Very interesting. I was taking a look at the tools you shared. They are all very relevant for research. I guess they could be used by the students to prepare master thesis or that other type of assignments. But as you know, for example, this led to considering academic integrity and using assignments as a student outcome that we will assess. So this open to a number of questions about teaching and learning practices that were common for us. So this is again why I say we need to engage with AI, not only instrumentally. We need to think about our lived experience, our questions as human beings, as a teacher, as a learner, because of course, for example, I did know Synthesia, for example, or I did know other tools for collecting or generating synthesis of the literature, like a literature review. There's also a plugin within ChatGPT, and also plugins or tools for analyzing data. The problem here is questions about academic integrity, about how will it affect the rhythm of productivity, and what we want to evaluate when working with a student. So it's okay. All these tools are easy to use, are already there, but what does it mean to live with these tools? Okay.
There is another person joining, maybe will be. Hello. Do you want to say something, Lily? No, it was a mistake, probably. Okay, I'm sorry for the person that just joined, but we are in the wrap-up session because the meeting was from 4 to 5 Central European time. I don't know if somebody else want to say some last words. Otherwise, I will be keen to close the meeting, unless Juliana want to underline something else. I also shared with you the hashtag. I'm gonna follow us on OER_ENCORE to get more information. Our project website is project_encore.eu, and in the event page and the repository page, you will find also previous events. I'm gonna share that again with you. As you have heard at my door, I have somebody on my door, so I am sorry for that. I have to leave a second for opening the door, and I leave to Bo the closing.
Yes, thank you, Alessandra. Not a problem, of course. I want to thank you all for being here. And I just put the ENCORE website link in the chat, so you can have a look at all the dissemination activities and upcoming events as well. I hope you had a great time. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us. You can find contacts on the website as well. And I wish you a nice evening or morning, wherever you are. And thank you for being here. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for organizing everything. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.